In the year 2000, a small copper-colored coin quietly entered circulation across the United Kingdom. To most people, it was just another ordinary coin, something that moved quickly from one hand to another during everyday purchases. It jingled in pockets, rolled across shop counters, and settled at the bottom of purses and jars. Hardly anyone stopped to think about it. Yet to collectors and curious observers, even the smallest coin can carry a fascinating story that stretches across history, craftsmanship, and unexpected value. This coin is the one penny dated 2000. On the front side appears the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a design created by the sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. His portrait shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece often used in official royal imagery. The detail in the portrait reflects the careful artistic work that goes into the design of British coins. Even though the coin is small and commonly used, every curve and line was carefully created to represent the dignity and history of the monarchy. On the reverse side, the design represents a section of the royal shield, part of the royal coat of arms of the United Kingdom. When all the denominations of British coins are placed together, they form the complete shield design. This creative concept connects every coin to a larger national symbol. Even a single penny carries a fragment of that image, linking it visually to the rest of the currency system. The coin itself was struck by the historic Royal Mint, one of the oldest mints in the world. The Royal Mint has produced coins for Britain for more than 1,000 years, adapting through centuries of political change, technological innovation, and economic development. By the time the year 2000 arrived, the mint had already produced countless designs and billions of coins that circulated throughout the country and beyond. When the 2000 penny was released, millions of pieces were struck and distributed into circulation. People used them in everyday life without much thought. They were handed out as change in small shops, used in vending machines, dropped into parking meters, and collected in piggy banks by children learning about money. At the time, nobody imagined that a simple penny from that year could one day attract the curiosity of collectors around the world. But coin collecting has always been about discovering stories hidden in plain sight. A coin that seems ordinary today might become special tomorrow because of rarity, condition, historical interest, or unusual minting details. Over time, collectors began examining the coins from the year 2000 more closely. Some examples stood out because they had been preserved in exceptional condition, while others attracted attention due to minor variations created during the minting process. Condition is one of the most important factors in coin collecting. A coin that has circulated for many years usually develops scratches, wear, and discoloration. These marks tell the story of its journey through everyday life. However, when a coin remains untouched and protected from circulation, it can retain its original shine and detail. Collectors often describe such coins as being in uncirculated or mint condition. The difference between a worn coin and a perfectly preserved one can be dramatic. Under magnification, collectors look for sharp details in the design, clean surfaces without damage, and the original copper brightness that fresh pennies once had when they left the mint. When a coin from a common year like 2000 survives in this flawless state, it becomes far more desirable than the billions that were handled every day. Another factor that excites collectors is the possibility of minting variations. During the production of coins, small differences can occur in the dies used to stamp the designs. Sometimes a letter might appear slightly different. A detail might be stronger or weaker, or the alignment between the front and back might vary slightly. These subtle differences can create varieties that collectors search for. The process of making coins is more complex than many people realize. Large sheets of metal are first rolled to the correct thickness. From these sheets, blank discs called planchets are punched out. These blanks are then cleaned, polished, and prepared before entering the coin presses. Inside powerful machines, specially engraved dies strike the blank with tremendous force, imprinting the designs onto both sides of the metal. Every stage of this process must be carefully controlled. Even the smallest variation in pressure, temperature, or die condition can leave a unique mark on a coin. Most of the time, these variations are minor and go unnoticed. But occasionally, they produce coins that are slightly different from the rest of the batch. When collectors discover such pieces, they become highly sought after. Over the years, collectors around the world have developed a deep fascination with everyday coins that hide unusual characteristics. The idea that a small object used in daily transactions might contain a rare feature creates excitement and curiosity. People begin checking their change more carefully, examining coins under bright light, and comparing them with reference guides to see if they have something special. The year 2000 also holds symbolic significance. It marked the beginning of a new millennium, a moment that attracted global attention and celebration. Coins minted during that time carry a sense of historical connection to that milestone. Even though the design of the penny did not dramatically change for the year, the date itself reminds collectors of the transition from the 20th century to the 21st century. Many collectors enjoy building complete sets of coins organized by year. When someone starts a collection of modern British pennies, the 2000 coin becomes one piece of that chronological story. Over time, as coins from earlier years become harder to find in good condition, collectors may pay higher prices for well-preserved examples. The copper-colored appearance of the penny also contributes to its charm. For decades, the warm tone of copper coins has been instantly recognizable in British currency. Although modern pennies are actually made from copper-plated steel rather than solid copper, they still retain the familiar color and appearance that people associate with traditional coinage. As collectors continued studying coins from the year 2000, stories began circulating online and in collector communities about rare examples and surprising auction results. Sometimes a coin that looked ordinary at first glance would attract attention because of its condition or an unusual characteristic. When collectors compete to obtain a particular piece, the price can rise far beyond what anyone expected. Coin auctions often create moments of excitement and suspense. Bidders from different parts of the world watch closely as prices climb. Each bid represents someone who believes the coin is worth a little more than the previous offer. In some cases, collectors are motivated not only by value but also by the thrill of owning a unique item. The world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins, is filled with stories like these. People have discovered rare coins in old jars, inherited collections, and even in loose change from shops. The possibility that a hidden treasure might appear in the most ordinary place keeps collectors searching and learning. For many people, coin collecting begins with curiosity. A child might notice an unusual coin and decide to keep it. Years later, that simple curiosity can grow into a lifelong hobby filled with research, history, and discovery. Each coin becomes a small window into the past, reflecting the culture, leadership, and artistry of the time when it was made. The 2001 penny may not appear extraordinary at first glance, but it still represents an important piece of British currency history. It connects everyday life with the craftsmanship of the Royal Mint and the long reign of Queen Elizabeth II. Every detail on the coin was carefully designed to represent tradition, continuity, and national identity. Collectors often remind newcomers that rarity alone does not determine value. Demand also plays a crucial role. When many people want a particular coin, but only a few examples exist in high quality, prices can rise dramatically. This balance between rarity and demand is what drives the fascinating economics of coin collecting. Sometimes the stories surrounding a coin become almost as interesting as the coin itself. Online discussions, collector forums, and social media videos often highlight coins that appear to have extraordinary value. These stories capture the imagination of viewers and encourage them to look more closely at the coins they encounter every day. The excitement of possibly finding something rare creates a sense of adventure. A simple coin from the year 2000 might inspire someone to explore the history of British currency, learn about minting techniques, or start a personal collection. Even if the coin turns out to be common, the knowledge gained during the search can be rewarding. Over time, collectors have built extensive catalogs documenting every known variation, design change, and minting detail in British coinage. These references help people identify what they have and understand its place within the larger history of coins. The penny from the year 2000 occupies its own position within that timeline, representing the early years of the new millennium. The idea that a coin used for everyday transactions could become valuable decades later is part of what makes coin collecting so captivating. Objects that were once overlooked can gain new importance as time passes. Historical context, collector interest, and rarity all combine to transform ordinary items into prized collectibles. Some collectors focus on condition, searching for coins that look exactly as they did when they left the mint. Others enjoy studying minting errors and unusual varieties. Still others collect coins simply because they appreciate the artistry and symbolism of the designs. The hobby welcomes many different approaches, each offering its own rewards that in the end. The 1 penny from the year 2000 remains a small but meaningful piece of the United Kingdom's currency system. It represents a moment in time, a connection between everyday life and national history. Millions of these coins passed through countless hands, each carrying a tiny fragment of the royal shield and the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. And while most examples will always remain ordinary coins worth only their face value, the stories and excitement surrounding rare collectible coins have led to astonishing claims and headlines in the numismatic world. Some discussions and speculative narratives have pushed the imagined value of extraordinary coins to unbelievable heights, with figures reaching as high as $890 million.